This is our family and our legacy. Let's come together, y'all. Let's come together. We'll build our story with our ancestors' words. Let your legacy always be loved. Let your voice always be heard.
Welcome to Our Family, Our Legacy. Today we share something very special. For the first time, members of our family from the East Coast and West Coast came together on Zoom to talk about connection, history, and the future. But before we begin, I want to share a short story as I did then. It's the story of my grandfather, Toby Ellis. He migrated from North Carolina to Baltimore many years ago. Over time, his roots were forgotten. No one knew his history or the family he left behind. For years, it was as if that part of our story had just disappeared. Decades later, we stumbled upon photos and reconnected with the North Carolina Ellis family. That discovery was enlightening, empowering, and stabilizing. My own journey has followed a similar path. I migrated from Baltimore to California, and one of my hopes is that my family here will never be disconnected from our loved ones back east. I don't want us to repeat the silence and the lost connections of Toby's story. That's why this conversation matters so much. The call began with reflections on what family connection truly means across distance and generations.
It means realigning. It means bringing everybody back home in a sense of family and togetherness. It's a new sense of a new beginning for us, and I think we definitely can stand, it definitely is an appetite for it. We could all benefit from the different cultures, the different perspectives, and the different ways of lives, because, what someone may have going on in their lives may help benefit you and yours, and you may not know.
Mm-hmm. Right. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
I'll go next. I'm Yvonne Anderson, aunt to you, Charles, Al, Keena, and my sister is Dolores. I retired 16 years ago, and I've never regretted it.
Good.
Lost my hair, but I still got my sense in the process. I think family is very essential. Trying to keep your family together and your extended family connected is crucial, really, because we live in such, I guess you can say, divided times now. There are siblings that are Trumpers, and I don't know how you can be a Trumper. Mm-hmm. But there's so many things that can divide your bloodline, when you should make a bigger effort to try to keep things together. Mm-hmm. And I'm really thankful to you, Charles, for doing this, because I know I wouldn't have done it. It's just essential for families to just try to connect and stay together, regardless of what your indifferences may be.
Yeah. And that's going to be another thing that we get to, because two opposing ideas can both be true. Everybody can have their own ideas and perspectives, and it's okay. It's okay. Mm-hmm. As long as we understand the importance and the power and unity of family. Go ahead, Corey.
So my name is Corey. I'm Charles' son. It is something that's important, because even though people may have differing decisions The real outcome is, are you trying to progress with your family? Are you trying to connect with your family? And I think those are things that are pretty important, even with certain views, even with different lifestyles. It's all about really that outcome that we're all looking for, which is connection, love, and who's going to have your back than other than people who look like you, who share same skin tone, to ideologies, to just overall just love of life. All these connections, all these things that I would say that is important, especially with family, because that's one thing overall I would say is probably the most important in all of these times, that we have family to connect with in our times of low or in our times of high.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I love it. I love it. And again, it's having that constant connection where we could be supportive of each other in any number of ways. That is a beautiful, beautiful thought. Thank you for that, Corey. And Corey, we then turn to history. At a time when so much is being erased in schools and public spaces, we talked about how our voices and our stories matter.
What my small family started doing, I think during COVID, is having our own family forums and our own Thanksgiving without it having to be the actual Thanksgiving day. So what we do on a rotating basis is having a family gathering that includes a potluck, and however we want to celebrate our family unity. And I found that's done a lot for me, and it's done a lot for our family. One of my grandsons, who's now attending Citrus College, his first year, he was a Trumper, and we challenged him without making him feel degraded because he thought so differently from us. I don't know to this day if, well, I do know that he no longer supports Trump's theories or ways of thinking. You know, we used to call him Little MAGA. And now we no longer do that because I guess he's coming into his own. So having our little family gatherings that rotate every third month, where someone, one of us hosts the gathering, has done a lot for fortifying our family, our family unity.
But it's I think it's about participation. And when you talk about historically, what you're doing now, I think is great because it's important to understand historically, where we come from and what we're doing. And because there's a lot of times that I thought about even my dad and my mom, and even though it never felt like we were hurting for money, I just remember there were times my dad had 2 or 3 jobs, and I had to put that in perspective to where I am. My point is that I just believe that we have to participate in the understanding of historically. I think we have to do, as Iman had said, participate in engaging with current events in terms of our family and friends. And otherwise, I think we need to figure out a way to participate in changing the landscape by putting our voice on the line with Trumpers or with the other individuals who may be running for office. And that voice may be financially participating. It could be having a podcast. It could be talking to your relatives. But I think part of what we have to do is figure out a way to be active and participating to make change. If we can't make change happen directly, we may be able to make change happen indirectly.
Yeah, great thought. Al, you suggest that to be involved in some way, but to get active. Do you think that the younger generation is up for that kind of challenge? Is there an appetite amongst the younger generation to kind of see the importance of what you're saying in relationship to pulling together as a family, pooling resources to make a difference? Or are we afraid?
Well, I believe that, the younger generation is tougher. It's tougher for them to jump on board when they sort of feel like things don't affect them in the same way. But I think the communication and the participation we have in that communication with them will help them to see and maybe even encourage them to participate in such a way that, they can see how it affects them. Because how it affects us, it ultimately affects them. But in general, or more specifically, some of the things that are going on in the real world, it's affecting them. They just don't see it yet. And those are the reasons why I believe that we as the elder spokespeople can at least provide feedback and direction if necessary, and just opportunity for them to have a look at the real world.
Okay, so with that, I'm wondering if there's someone who want to respond to what Al and Yvonne just said.
My perspective is that I want to see the change. In my final class for my philosophy, we had to write a podcast and actually speak out a podcast. And my topic was be the change you want to see. Because that's the change I want to see. I want to inspire. I want to encourage. I want to uplift. And in this journey that I've set myself upon, it's only fitting that we incorporate that within the family bond as well. We all have our parts to do, and I just want to encourage all of my family, young and old and the in-betweens, to participate in some shape or form. I mean, a small participation in the great grand scheme of things will be large in caliber. Like, you just have to step out on faith and try. I think we can do all things, but we can do it best together.
I will say the main thing I definitely want to attribute or go after is just the family history. Knowing about your family history, I definitely agree is important. Even like the stories of the individuals on this panel, essentially, or this Zoom, just knowing like, how did you get started? Like, what school did you go to? What education did you seek? Why did you pick that career? What experiences did you experience while pursuing that career? Like, those particular things are the things that I have the interest in how you came to be. Of yourself, right. Speaking about the things that made you you. Why are you Stephanie? Why are you Yvonne? Aunt Yvonne? Why are you Pop? Why are you Alfred? Uncle Al? Like, why are you these individuals? How did you come to become the person that you are? I think those stories within themselves are pretty important.
They are.
They are.
Then can be something that you grow from, because like, oh, so that's what you did. What would you have done differently? Or what could be something from the younger generation, knowing that you did that, could catapult me into not making that same mistake, or doing that same thing that you did to further myself in life, to be that part of the family who can aid in different ways, in various ways, as you do.
Beautifully said. And that brings us to the next question. When we name what matters, traditions come back to life. When you think about your children and their children's children, what values or traditions do you feel we must pass on to them?
We need to go back. We need to go back to the traditions that we grew up with. This generation grew up with. Mandatory Christmas holidays at grandma's house. We need to go back. It's nothing new to be done. It can't be fixed. We need to redo. We need to come together. It's crazy that my children have to be reintroduced to my siblings' children because we don't know.
Yeah.
That hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings. Siblings not even talking. We have to, you talk about connection. Let's talk about reconnection. Let's reconnect and be a family, you know? So we can go back to the beginning and like almost start over, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing new under the sun. We just need to fix what we broke. That's all.
She said a mouthful. It's not too late to undo some of the things that we know we need to do, like staying humble, being prayerful for the smallest things, you know, and being bold about it. Mm-hmm. Being bold.
Yeah. This is what it's all about.
I agree. You know, the reconnection is required. The recalibration, you know. Pulse check everybody. Talk to everyone. Bring back the small gatherings like Corey stated. It doesn't have to be glitz and glam. It just has to be. Reconnect with your family, because these people that are on this call, we haven't met before. Like, this is something big in the making, and I would love to be able to connect on a deeper level with each and every one of you, and the ones that's connected to you all. You know, starting back from the beginning, like Brandy stated, is actual facts. Like, I remember gatherings at Grandma Mamie's house, and I am picturing the house literally walking from the front door to the kitchen and to the dining room.
I think about, like, just, and it seems so simple, but like recipes. So like I try and like ask Goosey, like, hey, like, how did you make that? Like, Goosey can't cook as often anymore. So how do you make it so that I'm carrying on the tradition and things like that? And like, I know we're trying to be healthier as a whole. Some things don't need to be changed. Some things need to leave alone. And enjoy the fat, enjoy the whatevers, and then make sure you have a healthy lifestyle around that. Because again, it's about balance, and we don't need to always change stuff. We just need to embrace what is our current and enjoy it. Like, it's okay to enjoy things.
It is okay, isn't it?
It is.
It really is okay to enjoy things. Okay. With hearts aligned, plans began to take shape for a future East Coast, West Coast family reunion. Would you support an East-West Coast reunion next year? And if yes, what would you hope it looks like?
My answer is yes.
Who is that? Who is that?
Brandy.
Okay, Brandy. Yes. What would you hope it looks like, Brandy?
Full of friendly faces, laughter. I'm gonna piggyback on what she said. Good food and just fellowship. Just reconnection. I'm going to stick with my reconnection.
Reconnection. Okay.
Yeah, talking to meeting family that I haven't met, and just a good time.
Connection and reconnection. Then.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Oh, I'm definitely for it, Charles.
Okay.
I'm definitely for the East-West connection.
Okay.
We'll probably look like the United Nations.
Okay.
When we all get together.
Right. Yeah.
We'll be doing the electric slide. Those that can still wiggle. That's a universal family reunion dance.
Right. For those who can still wiggle. Okay.
It's definitely something I would love to see, love to happen. As far as, for what it looks like, got to see as far as location, where it's feasible for everybody, and want to see family members that they hadn't seen in a while. As far as everybody in this room, except for Brandy and Stephanie and Herb. Well, no, I met Herbert.
Yep, you did.
So I haven't met you guys and would love to meet you in person. And who doesn't love some more family?
Right. How about that?
Yes. So the answer for me is definitely yes.
Okay.
Looking forward to seeing everybody and having an opportunity for everybody to see me.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would love for that to happen, and I know it's going to happen. So I'm good.
Okay.
Can I say this, Uncle Charles?
Sure, please.
I've been listening the whole time, and I know we've already prayed out, and people are ready to go. And everything that was said, which was all well put, there is a component that all of us and everyone needs to be aware of, is that we've gone so long without anything like this, that there are people that want or have somewhat of a desire, but there is a pain and a hurt that would prevent them from coming into anything like this, which stands to talk to a lot of things that you guys spoke about, but it talks to accountability, it talks to healing, it talks to restoration. And until healing occurs, none of the reconnection or anything else can happen, right? Because there are a lot of people who want, or let me put it in this frame of reference, there's a lot of people that have had to struggle alone, so they're going to resist having someone enter into their house because they have built up such a boundary, and that's the only thing you're allowed to see. And I'll leave it at that.
Beautifully said, beautifully said. But it also speaks to the challenge ahead in relationship to the important work of bringing family together to unify. Okay? Again, I want to thank everyone for showing up. I will send out messages for the next one. Family, this conversation was not just about questions. It was about planting seeds for connections, for reconnection, for preserving history, and for strengthening the traditions and values that hold us together. It was about unity. It was about love. And yes, it is about healing. And so, as we continue on this journey, let us keep telling our stories, keep showing up, and keep building bridges between coast and generations. As always, I'll leave you with this reminder. Let your legacy always be love, and your voice always be heard.
This is our family and our legacy. Let's come together, y'all. Let's come together. We'll build our story with our ancestors' words. Let your legacy always be love. Let your voice always be heard.